we have a start in the A final of the boys' third Varsity 8.
Yeah, it looks like our crew from Space Coast got a very nice start. And we're seeing the crews from Bolles and Space Coast right now in view. And then we'll see Belen come into view, and then Sarasota crew, and then Orlando on the outside. You can see how they have jumped on it and have gotten a really big lead in the first 30 strokes.
Huge start there from OARS to take almost a full length out of the rest of the field, who is very, very tightly packed. Nobody out of it yet here in this boys' third Varsity 8A final.
Well, it's OARS' desire that they will be out of it. So far ahead, it won't be a problem, but that remains to be seen. But they continue to be very, very aggressive in their starting sequence, and they are still high rating. I don't know that they're going to shift down that much, Matt.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they have to. This following tailwind will shorten the course, shorten the race time, that is. And it is OARS out in front. It currently looks like Belen is in the second place position, maybe about 2 seats ahead of Sarasota crew. And look at that, Space Coast has decided that they want to come into play and contend for a medal.
Same thing with the Bolles school.
Yeah, this is a strategy that we've seen from even the OARS. Remember, if you remember a few races ago, the OARS B 4V, basically they didn't even settle. They sprinted the entire race. They started and they held that high rate of cadence all the way down the course, and that looks to be exactly what's happening here for this OARS 3V. This strategy paying off for them.
I don't know what kind of new aerobic systems these athletes have, but that is a concept that was totally foreign to me. I know that we do our start in the pair. We're up around 34. We do a 5-stroke short, longer, longest, and then 10 high, and then go down to our base of around 28 to 30. But these crews are sitting there pounding away at around 38, 39.
We're at the halfway mark. It is OARS out in front with an open water advantage. Currently Belen in second position, but it's bow ball to bow ball with Sarasota crew. And Bolles, who had a fantastic early start, is finding the pace a little bit too hot as Sarasota crew is coming into their own in this middle 500. They're now challenging and trying to push their bow out in front of Belen.
And we were mentioning the different lengths of vote. You can see the coxswain of Sarasota is almost lined up with this 8 or 7 seat, but look at the bow ball. It looks pretty dead even to me.
Yeah, and I think there's a bit of a fisheye view sometimes from this drone so that we can get fantastic coverage of all of the teams. But as you can see, those buoys are marked at the spaces that you can tell that as they're crossing those lines, it does look like, oh, it's either Sarasota crew or Belen, whoever is taking a recovery as their bow ball surges has the lead. So it's neck and neck, no doubt about it. OARS well out in front and continuing to pull away from the field, but this last 500 is going to tell us Belen or Sarasota. We know Belen can sprint. Sarasota crew knows it's coming, so this last 500 meters is going to play out who's silver and who's bronze.
Well, it looks like Sarasota crew is just handling themselves going into the last part of the recovery, and they're carrying a lot of speed. Their boat isn't jerking back and forth as much as some of the other boats, but they're way up ahead. Wow. That is a significant lead by OARS as they really are just pounding it and going after it and really getting good spacing. We're talking about 3 feet, 7's oar going on the bow side of bow's buttle.
Yeah,
even at that rating, that's really good.
Yeah, these guys are flying, that's for sure. As they're into the final 250 meters there, GoPro on the coxswain's head to be reviewed and enjoyed by these OARS guys, because it's going to carry them to a state championship. And behind them, yeah, here comes Belen.
They're into the last 250 meters. They're in the red buoys. Here goes Belen. Belen is driving the rate up. They're moving their bow. They're trying to get out in front, but it's bow ball to bow ball. Sarasota crew and Belen, 2 yellow boats. 1 for silver, 1 for bronze. It is going to be OARS with a dominant 2 length of open water win. And right now, I really can't even tell. It's going to be all the way down between Belen and Sarasota.
Belen might just have the momentum, but Sarasota trying to find battle
back. Wow, look at this. Sarasota, Belen, Sarasota, Belen, Sarasota, Belen. They're jockeying back and forth, and it's Belen just a skoshie. By my eye, totally unofficial.
I think it was Belen by a seat.
Not even that, yeah. It looked like maybe the bow card, and it was depending on who was surging, because Sarasota was in front on the recovery, then Belen on the recovery. So whoever's boat surged in that last bit, exactly where the finish line, will have to wait for the official results from crewtimer.com. Belen feels like they think they got it, but it's going to come down.
Yeah, it looks like, according to Crew Timer, by 0.15 seconds, Belen just pipped Sarasota Crew at the end. There is the replay.
Wow.
Wow. Fantastic stuff. Great sprint. Another showcase of that Belen sprint. But that OARS crew has